My friends, how are you? It is fantastic to see you for yet another video. And the battle is heating up right now between Donald Trump and the cattle ranchers here in America. And I know I covered this video just a few days ago, but we are seeing this entire thing heat up with the cattle ranchers extremely pissed off that Donald Trump is making a deal to import beef from Argentina specifically, coming to America in an attempt to, what he says is lower the prices of beef in America. But knowing Donald Trump, this probably has some hints of corruption to it, if not blatant corruption. And we just get to sit back and watch as this battle continues to heat up because, my friends, I love a good fuck around and find out moment, especially in this country now, when people were warned about what Donald Trump was going to do to them, how he was going to cause them harm, and they still lined up to vote for him. So we're going to talk some more about this feud with the cattle ranchers in America and Donald Trump. Real quick, I wanted to say you guys have been giving me a lot of compliments on my little nerd corner here, my Final Fantasy VII characters. There's Cloud, there's Sephiroth, there's the motorcycle Cloud Road in Final Fantasy VII. But I got to tell you guys, the nerd gets a little bit deeper around here. I'm going to give bonus points in the comments if you can tell me why this t-shirt right here is so damn cool. I went and got this damn thing myself. By the way, the bonus points don't add up to anything. You can't redeem them anywhere. They're completely useless. But bonus points if you can figure that one out or if you know what that's about. I wanted to go over a couple things real quick on the last video because I apparently made a couple missteps and I'm not too proud to admit when I was maybe a little bit misguided about something. So last video we talked a little bit about Canada getting Donald Trump's diaper all up in a bunch because they had put out an ad featuring Ronald Reagan discussing how bad tariffs were for the American people. That pissed Donald Trump off. He runs to Truth Social to handle diplomacy the only way he knows how, by throwing a temper tantrum and saying that all trade talks are off with Canada. What I didn't entirely know about that when I went into that video was that that was a project of Doug Ford. I'm going to be honest with you, in this very particular situation, I don't know a whole lot about Doug Ford, but I'm going to take his side on this one because anytime somebody can get Donald Trump fired up and throwing a temper tantrum, I'm a huge fan of what they're doing. But I do understand a lot of the Canadian responses saying that it was a waste of their money, and other Canadians saying that this ends all hope for any kind of trade deal with the United States and Canada, which, in my opinion, let's be honest, there was never going to be a deal. Donald Trump just uses these trade wars to hold over other countries' heads in an attempt to intimidate them. But this is what was brought up to me by quite a few Canadian citizens, and who the hell am I to tell a Canadian how they feel about what is going on in their own country? I stand with Doug Ford on this particular thing. I think it's fucking hilarious. I think that it's going to lead Donald Trump to implode even more and lead to more damaging economic policy from Donald Trump, which is sort of the awakening that America needs, right? We need to realize that he is bad for America and bad for the American people. So, hey, if that was the push it took, I'm going to stand by that. But I understand the concerns raised in the comments section and over on Blue Sky. One thing I'm not going to take back is my shots at Tesla yesterday, where apparently a lot of people were very frustrated that I made fun of Tesla's safety ratings and said Tesla has the highest safety ratings in the history of cars. And you know what? That recently changed. There was something about that where they weren't very good. They weren't good safety ratings. And now, knowing that Elon Musk has his grubby little hands all in our government, it doesn't shock me that the government is saying that Teslas are good cars. But the point I was sort of alluding to was that by a large margin, the rate of you being burned alive inside of a Cybertruck is much higher than that of a Ford Pinto, and Ford Pintos were known as the exploding car. It is not my fault that Cybertrucks light on fire, that Cybertrucks spontaneously combust. And honestly, I will not take back any slander against a Nazi. In the America I want to live in, we don't praise Nazis, we don't praise Nazi products, and we don't support anything they do. Even if they make a fantastic fucking product, it is my duty to say that that product is a complete piece of shit because I don't like Nazis, all right? So that's where I'm at on the whole Elon Musk thing and the Cybertrucks. And if you're that frustrated with me, that is absolutely fine. I will never ever defend Elon Musk or his products after the harm he has caused to the American people. And I will fucking talk shit about Tesla until the day I fucking die, because Elon Musk does not deserve to profit off of the American people after the destruction he has caused. With all that out of the way, my friends, let's get back to the point that's the video. The point of the video. Had to get a few things out of the way there, of course, but like I said, I know I covered this a couple days ago, but Donald Trump came up with a plan that he was going to import beef from Argentina specifically, and what he says is an effort to lower beef costs in America. And that is kind of a shocking thing for him to say, because this video will have some overlap with the last time I covered it, but it was us, the American citizens, that were screaming, and economists, and anybody that didn't have their head up their ass were screaming that Donald Trump's tariffs were going to raise prices in America. And the reason that we engage in so much trade globally with other countries, pardon me, I forgot what I was saying, with other countries, is because that is how we keep prices low in America. That is why we use so much Chinese-made products in this country, is because China has the ability to mass manufacture at a lower rate than America does. Now, there may be some human cost to that, of course, obviously, that may be problematic, that we can certainly talk about another time. But we were saying the entire fucking time, if you go forward with these tariffs, then you are going to increase the prices on American people. Where Donald Trump and the Republicans tried to convince us, because they thought we were all as stupid as MAGA, they tried to convince us that it was China that pays the tariff. They also try to convince us that by imposing tariffs, it would magically create manufacturing jobs in America. And magically is the only assumption we can make, because there has literally been no attempt to bring manufacturing back to America. As a matter of fact, we have done quite the opposite. When Hyundai and LG teamed up to build a manufacturing plant, Donald Trump and his Gestapo police, ICE, kicked in the fucking door and detained a bunch of Koreans, and now that's a huge fucking deal. Right? That's a big fucking deal. So we have done the exact opposite of bringing manufacturing back to America. And I know I missed my point there. My point wasn't that we were giving South Koreans jobs in America. The Koreans were here to train an American workforce on how to work the fucking product. And that is what we fucking did, my friends. So the biggest point with that is, obviously we have been saying that trade is how you keep prices low for the consumer. Did Donald Trump just wake up to that fact? Did he just figure that out? I would have to say fucking no, because there is obviously a whole lot of corruption going on when it comes to Argentina. I didn't know why at first, but thankfully, my comment section is always there to educate me on things that I don't understand. And that may have sounded a little condescending coming out of my mouth. That's just the take I got from it. But I don't actually, it's not condescending. I didn't realize that Argentina was a safe haven for the Nazis after, all their shit got blown up. And they ran to Argentina in numbers while Argentina provided safe haven for them. And that makes you think just a little bit now, doesn't it? Makes you wonder just a little bit. So we're bailing out Argentina to the tune of $40 billion so far, while America says they can't afford health care for its own citizens, while America says we can't afford to feed our own citizens. Argentina opens its trade routes with China on the soybean trade, making another billions of dollars over there. And now Donald Trump says, you know whose beef we need specifically? Argentina's. There is just absolute insane corruption that is going on between Donald Trump and Argentina right now that I think we may find out about in the future exactly why this is all going on. If it has anything related to, the Nazis, then we will definitely find out what this is all about. But to the point of the video, the ranchers in America are absolutely losing their shit right now, because they're saying, of course, that will cause their prices to go lower. Supply and demand, right? Just simple supply and demand. And I will acknowledge that the the price of beef is high. Look, I'll tell you a little personal story. I went to the grocery store yesterday to get stuff to make tacos, right? Ground beef being the main ingredient. 3 pounds of ground beef, I think I paid like $26 fucking for 3 pounds. It was absolutely insane, to the point that I'm wondering, how the fuck do people even feed themselves? By the time I got everything needed to make tacos, I was $80 into the fucking thing. That was to make tacos, my friends. We understand the prices are super fucking high in America because of the president that convinced millions of Americans to vote for him because the price of eggs were too goddamn high, and they didn't give a fuck about their daughters' futures. They voted away their own daughters' future so that the eggs would be cheaper. And now, I don't know what the price of eggs are, but forget about it. If you want beef at this point, you're fucking done. So we could acknowledge that maybe the Argentina beef would lower prices in America, right? And the glorious part about it, my friends, there's a lot of economic stuff in this that is well over my head. Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? I don't have the fucking answer to that. I don't really know the best way to handle this. What I do know is the cattle ranchers in America have been living pretty high on the hog lately. And do they deserve it? Maybe, maybe not. That's up to you to decide. But they have been doing pretty good. It has to do with smaller herd sizes causing an increase in the price of beef in America. But now they are flipping the fuck out. They say, once Donald Trump brings this in, we're not going to be able to get by. We're going to take heavy losses when it comes to the price of our product. And it's going to be a real fucking problem for us. And Donald Trump has come out on Truth Social. I wish I was more professional sometimes, where I was showing these on the screen, but you guys get the point. You can always look up this information yourself. But Donald Trump went to Truth Social to basically say the cattle ranchers don't know what they're talking about, and if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't be making the profit they are making anyways. And it's all thanks to Donald Trump that they've been able to make what they've been making thus far. Now, they're coming out on the news the same way we saw the soybean farmers not too long ago, begging for Donald Trump to change his mind to do something to help them. I unfortunately think that they can't be helped at this point, because there is something massively corrupt between Donald Trump and Argentina's government. There absolutely has to be at this point. Look at all the sweetheart deals Argentina is getting, while Donald Trump is telling Americans they can go fuck themselves. There is something going on here, and maybe I'm a weirdo conspiracy theorist at this point. Maybe I spend too much time listening to shit and going down these rabbit holes, but it is entirely possible it's for the same reason that the Nazis really liked Argentina, right? And I think that Donald Trump is too deep in this, too far into this, for him to tell Argentina, wait, we changed our mind. Our ranchers don't like it, and we've changed our mind. We're not going to import your product. All right, he's too deep. He's in too deep, my friends. He can't come back from this one at all. Anyways, so I've watched quite a few interviews with the cattle ranchers on the news talking about how they support Donald Trump 100% except for this thing. Well, then in that case, I'm unable, my friends, to have any kind of sympathy for the cattle ranchers in the event that they go broke. Because if you say that you support Donald Trump except for this one thing, then it's obvious it's because this one thing's hurting you. But when the Gestapo police are running through the streets of America, just detaining anyone that doesn't look white enough in this country, that is deporting people to concentration camps with no due process whatsoever, that is now actively starving the American citizens. Here in less than a week, I think, we will see a cutoff of SNAP benefits because of Donald Trump and the Republican Party cannot figure out how to open the government that they fucking control. What else do we have? We've got Donald Trump threatening American cities with military force. We've got Donald Trump deploying the National Guard to different American cities. We've got Donald Trump's active attacks on free speech in America, shutting down any anyone, or at least attempting to shut down anyone that doesn't fall in lockstep with him. And if you can look me in the fucking eyes and say, I support everything Donald Trump did except this, then I hope you go broke. I'm unable to be nice about this at this particular point. It does not bother me if the cattle ranchers and the farmers go broke. I understand it's our food supply. Trust me, I understand that's going to be very fucking problematic. But if you can say you support everything he does, then I can't support you anymore. He is literally doing some crazy shit in this country. But on the other hand, life sucks when it's like full of nuances, right? It kind of makes everything a pain in the ass. On the other hand, anytime we can get another ally that says I'm against Donald Trump and his policies, I guess that's always a good fucking thing, right? Now, it's unforgivable that you think that all these things Donald Trump is doing is fine because it didn't affect you. I can't forgive that. But if you've decided you've had enough of Donald Trump's failed policies and you are now opposed to Donald Trump, I'll take you in that capacity. I will. In that very limited capacity, yes. You're a shithead. You were okay with people being sent to concentration camps. You are okay with starving people in America. You are okay with people not having access to healthcare or hospitals in America. You are okay with people's free speech being shut down in America. You are okay with the Republicans rigging the elections in America through gerrymandering all the red states. Boy, my God, it just goes on and on. But you're not okay the minute that it hit your fucking wallet. Now, if you take just a few minutes and put yourself in the shoes of other people and realize that this is all bad for all Americans, then maybe we have a talking point. But I'm glad to see it. I'm happy to see more and more people turn against Donald Trump's harmful policies. And that's really all I got on this one, my friends. I feel like I always have more points to make in the videos, and then I just forget. I just forget what the fuck they are. So, to wrap it up, cattle ranchers are now seeing the cost of their vote for Donald Trump as Donald Trump and his corruption with Argentina, for some reason or another, has now threatened the livelihood of the cattle ranchers in America. And Donald Trump does not give a fuck if you are negatively affected by this, because Donald Trump has said on Truth Social that you are too stupid to understand any of this shit. That's the video. Love you guys. Bye now.